Thank you so much, honorable members. We shall now have an opportunity for silent prayers and meditation. Thank you. We may all take our seats. Good morning, honorable members of this august house. We must acknowledge and greet the Honorable the Premier, Dr. Popira Matuba, Leader of Government Business, Honorable Makamu, all MECs that are here present in this august house. Greet the Deputy Speaker, Metebogo Poshia Grace Mamrovela, the Chair of Chairs, Honorable Mukoni, the Deputy Chair of Chairs, Honorable Ngoveni, our Chief Whip, who's still outside but is coming, is within the precinct of the Legislature, Honorable Mkhonyana, Honorable Monama, the Deputy Chief Whip and the Whipari at all of them. Greet the opposition parties with the EFF, Honorable Lebogo and your team, Honorable Wilson and your team, and all other parties that are here. Good morning, all of us, and all honorable members. I'm greeting you as well with the people who are on the gallery. Feel greeted and feel welcome in the sitting of the legislature. Even other political parties that are here that I might not have acknowledged, as long as you are in the gallery, feel welcomed. I must as well greet the administration, HODs that might be here, and the officials coming from different departments. As well, we must greet all social media platform followers that always follow us on the social media. They must feel welcome to this sitting of the Limpopo Provincial Legislature today on the 26th of August 2025 here in Leboa. Without wasting time, we'll proceed to item 2. If there are motions without notice in terms of House Rule 145. Motions without notice. Can I see the hands? Honorable Nkonyana Bongani, is he here? Okay. Honorable Bo.
Honorable Speaker, ke dumedishe ntlo e kgethwa e ke bona mamotla le tlile ka bontši re a le lebogiša le mo premier o buile I rise on behalf of the EFF to move without notice that the House notes gore mo Polokwane High Court ka la di 19 tša kgwediane ya August o ile wa boniwa molato tsotsi e ba reng ke Justice Machete o leng gore kgoro ile ya mo fa mengwaga ye 25 o ya kgolegong e le mabapi le ka ge a be a kata batho a tsotsila batho motseng wa gabo a go baditše batho ba bantši di-crime tše o di diile mengwageng ya go tloga 2005 go fitlhelela ka ngwaga wa 2019 kudu a be a lebeletše batho ba bomme le bana mola motseng wa Bolobedu mola Zaneni mola Mojadis Kloof ka mo fase ga lefelo la Mopani district bošula bontše a bodia bo ile ba kweša province ya Limpopo botlhoko ke ka fao re leng ba economic freedom fighters re amogelang seo khotho e tlileng ka sona eupša re wisha o ka reng ke ba filwe bophelo ka moka re o ka re thakatša ka mola di ka mo tlaiša ditho tše ka moka tše ntša di šomiša go tlaiša batho ba borena ba bapalelang go ikemela gona mola Tšhanganeng ka ge tše ka moka ba di dia a ikemišeditše go koša setšhaba botlhoko re sentence e be molaetša go bao ba katang le go tlhoriša bana batsofe le batho ka moka mo motseng wa borena gore re ka se tolerate mekgwa ya go se be gona mekgwa e le gore le diphoofolo a di e berekiše. I so move.
Please, thank you so much. Talking, please switch off your mic. Any seconder to the motion? Honorable Malimel.
Ke a leboa, Madam Speaker. Ke eme mowe o thega se Honorable Lebogo o ba bolela sona.
Thank you very much, Honorable Munama, the Chief Whip.
Okay, thanks very much, Honorable Dr. Speaker. I rise on behalf of the glorious movement, the African National Congress, for this August House to know that today, the 26th August 2025, marks exactly 29 years since the conviction of an apartheid kingpin, an atrocious and apologist, Eugene de Kock, for the murderers of scores of anti-apartheid activists in this country. Eugene de Kock, who is notoriously known for killing several anti-apartheid activists at the Flag Plus farm, was convicted for the murders of numerous political activists on this day, the 26th August 1996. He was sentenced to an effective 2 life sentences and a further 212 years imprisonment, which were converted to a parole in 2015. As a democratic dispensation, we saw it befitting to grant this criminal a parole jail term because we are aware that he was made a scapegoat who was acting on orders. We did so even though we are convinced that he has not revealed the entire truth about this involvement in the killings of many of our liberation stalwarts at the heart of apartheid. During his trial, he also admitted to being part of numerous operations at the instruction of people like P.W. Botha and F.W. de Klerk. Historic occasions like this today remain a constant reminder of the torrid upheavals that South Africa had to traverse upon to attain this state of democracy. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much. Any seconder to the motion? Honorable Mtaka.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Speaker. I, Falazam Daka, rise to second the motion as moved by the Honorable Munama. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable Nengoda, I see your hand. On my list, you are supposed to do a member statement. Are you doing a member statement or a motion? Okay. Can I get a motion without notice, Honorable Libya?
Thank you very much, the Honorable Dr. Speaker. A very blessed morning to you and the August House. I rise without notice, Honorable the Speaker, that today is a very special day, a day that brought a very wonderful and tenacious woman to this side of woman, for this side of heaven. The woman who gave birth to a very resilient, progressive woman by the name of Honorable Kitibone Lebeya. The Honorable Dr. Speaker, I rise to wish my mom a blessed day of birth in this August House, that may she live long. I move accordingly. Thank you, the Honorable Dr. Speaker.
Any seconder to the motion, honorable members? Honorable Mukaba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion presented by Honorable Libya.
Thank you so much. We shall move. Continue with motion without notice. I see a number of hands. Honorable Hermanas Franz Max.
Honourable Speaker. I rise on a motion without notice that this House notes with appreciation that Limpopo successfully hosted the 2025 South African Bowls Mixed Pairs Tournament from 21 to 24 August 2025. This was the first occasion on which Limpopo hosted the National Bowls SA Tournament, which took place at the Polokwane Bowls Club. Teams representing all 20 bowls districts from across all the provinces of South Africa participated. The ages of participants ranged widely from as young as 15 years old to as senior as 77 years old, reflecting the inclusivity of the sport. Limpopo representatives performed commendably, finishing in the 7th place overall out of the 20 participating teams. That this House also congratulate Bowls South Africa, the Limpopo district organisers, the Polokwane Bowls Club and all participants for contributing to the success of this prestigious national event, which showcased our province as a worthy sporting destination.
Any seconder to the motion? Honorable Elmarie.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I stand to second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Further motions without notice? Honorable Andres Moss.
Thank you, Honourable Dr. Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I rise on behalf of the Freedom Front Plus to move that this House notes that with grave concern the recent bus crash on the R71 at Mabagubas Kloof outside Zanin, in which 39 passengers, including 30 learners from a special school, sustained injuries and required hospitalization, and despite clear signage prohibiting the heavy trucks on this section, enforcement has often been inadequate, resulting in repeated tragedies and preventable loss of life. We commend the swift action of the emergency personnel, police and traffic officers who consistently respond under very difficult conditions. We call on to the Department of Transport to strengthen law enforcement to ensure that heavy vehicles comply with existing restrictions on the R71 and the R528 and engage with the Department of Education to ensure that the scholar transport, particularly for learners with special needs, is provided with the highest safety and standards on these hazardous roads. Thank you.
Any seconder to the motion? Honorable members must remember that if the motion is not seconded, it falls off. Any seconder to the motion? Honorable Wilson.
Thank you, Dr. Speaker. I stand to second the motion as presented by Andre Moss. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We shall now move. Honorable Sibutruma, a motion without notice.
Honourable Speaker, the esteemed House, colleagues in the opposition benches, and our viewers at home, Hozom Africa. The UAT moves a motion without notice to celebrate an emerging farmer in the Zebedela area who has persevered in the business for close to a decade despite significant challenges. We want to acknowledge his resilience, determination, and resolve to remain in business despite lacking access to formal trading markets. One might wonder how he has managed to stay afloat all these years. It is important to note that, like many emerging black farmers across the province, he sells his produce, including potatoes, spinach, watermelons, and green peppers, directly from his field, which are strategically located along a busy road to customers purchasing for household consumption. The construction of a nearby mall offered hope that it would provide a reliable market for his produce. However, bureaucratic red tape has prevented him from accessing this market. And unreasonable demands for him to produce a weekly quota far beyond his capacity, and ironically, more than what the supermarket actually requires, have been a significant obstacle. The UAT humbly appeals to this House through the Committee on Agriculture, MEC, to assist black emerging farmers in their vital role of ensuring food security. We propose providing meaningful training on forming cooperatives to help them overcome this bureaucracy. We cannot stand by and do nothing while white monopoly capital continues to dominate markets at the expense of market-starved black farmers. Our plea as the UG is to urge this government to pass a bill that compels major supermarkets at these malls to dismantle this bureaucracy and begin supporting emerging black farmers, thereby allowing them to participate meaningfully in the province's mainstream economy. So I submit. Kanimam.
Rale wanted this Butuma, only any watlachang the motion. Honorable Sputuma, unfortunately, if there is no seconder to your motion, the motion falls off, so it will not be recorded as the motion submitted to this August House today. Can we now move, honorable members, to Honorable Malemela? Do you still have a motion without notice? Okay. So I think we are done, honorable members, with motions without notice, which is item 3. I'm now going to, which was item 2. We're now going to item 3 with notices of motion in terms of House Rule 146. Is there any notice? None. We'll move to item 4. Are there any member statements? Statements by members in line with Rule 199. I have on my list, are there member statements from the EFF? The names of the people who are here are not in the House. So I'm not sure if there is any. But otherwise, let me allow Honorable Nenguda an opportunity to do his member statement.
Ndiyalivhuwa mulangadzulo wa dokotela umakurupetsi ndithome hafhu nga lumelisa muhulise vhupremier vhahulisei vhoṱhe miraḓo ya khoro tshitumbe ine ravha nayo fhano namusi ndi sa hangwi vhahulisei miraḓo ya nnḓu ino ndo ima hafha sa vhurumelwa vhu bvaho kha African National Congress. Honorable Speaker, we have noted with concern the fatal accident that claimed the lives of the passengers along the R574 road in the Elias Motsoaledi municipality in Sekhukhune yesterday on Monday, the 25th of August 2025. This happens despite the numerous interventions by this government to ensure a heightened traffic police visibility to promote road safety. Honorable Speaker, fatalities like these speak to our capabilities to ensure a state of zero fatalities on our roads. We have received reports that the deceased in this fatality were foreign nationals who were traveling into South Africa. This means that government will have to activate an additional arsenal of its other agencies to ensure a seamless repatriation process of the deceased's mortal remains. Madam Speaker, the fatality, Honorable Speaker, is a wake-up call to government to heighten its road safety operations and improve our road safety records. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Ndiyalivhuwa.
Thank you so much. It was only the member statement that I have, unless if there is another one. So if there is no any other member statement, I will allow executive member who's available to deal with the matter. Manana Susana Violet Mate, the MEC responsible for transport and community safety, to respond to the member statement. Over to you, ma'am.
Inkomo mhlonipheki speaker ni pfumelele ni xeweta huvo hinkwayo yo endla milawu ya Limpopo leyi rhangeleke hi Dr. Mathuba. Ni xeweta swirho hinkwaswo swa yindlu ya huvo yo endla milawu na vakaneti lava nga kona ka yindlu ya huvo yo endla milawu lava tshameke ka voko ra mina ra ximatsi na va xeweta na ku xeweta vurhangeri bya nhlangano lowu kulukumba wa Swikwembu wu nga African National Congress. Ni ra avuxeni. Honorable Speaker, firstly, allow me to applaud Honorable Lubogo for what he said about Justice Machete. I'm sure Honorable Lubogo, I'm applauding you because you mentioned clearly and you acknowledge that the government of the ANC is at work. So thank you for that. Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank the members for the statement and to affirm that the department remains unwavering in its commitment to intensify law enforcement and monitoring of our roads to ensure compliance by all motorists. Our traffic law enforcement officers are deployed strategically to conduct regular patrols, vehicle checks, and operations aimed at curbing reckless driving. Always when I'm standing here, I'm saying the decision is for the one who's driving the car. One driver decided to take a wrong decision and caused that fatality that happened yesterday at Tafelkop, where 5 people lost their lives. So before I can sit down, Honorable Premier, our roads, there's nothing wrong with our roads, but people will decide to ignore the road signs. They will decide to speed, they will decide to overtake where they are not supposed to overtake. So all of this will always call what we call fatal crashes in our country. And if I can say it, Honorable Premier, South Africa is amongst the 10 countries with this type of fatalities. So let me convey our heartfelt condolences on behalf of Limpopo Province to all the members, the families, the friends of all the deceased, and also pass our condolences to the country that they are coming from, because they are all from Mozambique. So we're saying, please, 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 let us be careful. Honorable Makam. So I'm sure Honorable Makam will be leading the procession, which will be leading them to their resting place. But with these few words, I'm saying, safety starts with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable MEC, for that kind of a response. We really appreciate. Can we now move in terms of the order paper, allow members of the executive in Rule 200, if there is any member statement by the executive? There is none. We'll move directly to item 6, the tabling of committee reports and other reports and papers. 6.1 will allow the tabling of the 2023-2024 annual report of the Department of Social Development, together with the written explanation of non-submission on time. Honorable MEC Bumme Pulupelo Florence Razilani, the MEC for Social Development, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Dr. Grace Makoma Makrupeja, to our Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Mamrovela, the Honorable Premier of our province, Honorable Dr. Popi Constance Ramatuba, esteemed members of the Executive Council, the Chief Whip and Deputy Chief Whip of the governing party, leaders of the opposition parties, the Chairperson and Deputy, Chair and Deputy Chair of Chairs, Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable Simon Mate, and all members of the Portfolio Committee, the honorable members of this august House, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very blessed morning to you all. I stand before you today, Honorable Speaker, to table the annual performance report for the financial year 2023-2024, which is Vote 12, the Department of Social Development. Initially, the report was withdrawn due to dispute lodged with the Auditor General of South Africa, particularly relating to performance-related concerns. I wish to inform this august House that the dispute has since been fully resolved. The audit outcome remains unchanged, and there are no outstanding issues affecting the integrity of the report. In light of this resolution, the department formally withdraws the letter dated 3rd October 2024, which previously indicated the withdrawal of the report. This action, Honorable Speaker, now permits the House to proceed with the tabling of the 2023-2024 annual performance report. We are committed as the department to transparency and accountability, and I assure this House that the department will continue to uphold the highest standards of corporate governance. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity afforded to me.
Thank you so much, Honorable MEC. The report of the 2023-2024 Annual Report of Social Development, together with the written explanation of non-submission on time, are referred to the Portfolio Committee of Social Development and SCOPA for consideration and report back to the House. Thank you so much. We now move to 6.2, tabling of the departmental institutional annual reports of the financial year ending 2024-2025. That will be presented by Leader of Government Business, Honorable MEC Makamu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Dr. Makomo Makurupech, to the Honorable the Premier of our province, members of the Executive Council, the Chair of Chairs, Deputy Chair of Chairs, the Chief Whip and the Deputy Chief Whip, all honorable members in the House. Madam Speaker, allow me to indicate to the august House that the annual reports are important mechanism by which the executive accounts to the Provincial Legislature on their activities. Madam Speaker, Section 65 of the Public Finance Management Act, Act of 1999, as amended, provides that the executive authority responsible for department or public entity must table in the Provincial Legislature the annual report and the financial statement and the audit report of those statements, within 1 month after the accounting officer of the department or the public entity receives the audit report. Based on that, Madam Speaker, I hereby, on behalf of my colleagues in the Executive Council, do table the departmental and institutional annual reports for the following departments for consideration by the Honorable House. Number 1, Office of the Premier. 2, the Department of Education. 3, the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development. 4, the Department of Provincial Treasurer. 5, the Department of Economic Development, Environment and Tourism and its entities. 5.1, Limpopo Gambling Board. 5.2, Limpopo Economic Development Agency. 5.3, Limpopo Tourism Agency. 6, the Department of Health. 7, the Department of Transport and Community Safety and its entity 7.1, Gateway Airport Authority Limited, GAL. 8, the Department of Public Works, Roads and Infrastructure and its entity 8.1, Road Agency Limpopo. 9, the Department of Cogstar. 10, the Department of Social Development. 11, the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the submission.
Thank you so much. Honorable MEC, the tabled 2024-2025 Departmental Institutional Annual Reports are referred to the relevant portfolio committee and SCOPA for consideration and report back to the House. We'll now move to item 3, 6.3. Deputy Speaker, there's a confusion. They've given you the speech and the tabling. Please focus on the tabling. Yeah. 6.3 is tabling of the 2024-2025 annual report of the Limpopo Legislature. Deputy Speaker, please focus on the tabling.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I have realized that, but we'll manage that. Thank you very much, Speaker Dr. Makurupecha, and the Premier, Dr. Ramatuba, members of Executive, Chair of Chairs, Deputy Chair of Chairs, the Chief Whip, Deputy Chief Whip, and the whole whippery. And Madam Speaker. Thank you very much, and greetings to the members of Legislature. Good morning, honorable members. Honorable Speaker, at the same time, this August House must note that the South Africa commemorates Women's Month in August. I'm just going to go to the table. Okay. All right. Honorable Speaker, the annual report tabled before this August House includes as attachments audited financial statements for 2024-2025 financial year. The audit report on those statements and the annual performance report as required by legislation. I must indicate that our audit results for the financial year under consideration is unqualified audit outcome with issues of emphasis. We shall work hard to improve. But Speaker, can you read what you've been This is what I'm reading. But I'm tabling them. Can you read the table? Okay. Okay. Okay, Honorable Speaker, in compliance with the dictates of Section 60 of the Financial Management of Parliament and Provincial Legislature Act 2009, I, Tebogo Poshia Mamrobela, the Deputy Speaker of the Limpopo Provincial Legislature, hereby table before this House the annual report including the audited financial statement by the Auditor General for the financial year ending 2024-2025 to be considered by the relevant committee of this August House. I thank you.
Thank you so much for tabling the report. The 2024-2025 annual report of the Limpopo Legislature is referred to the Oversight Mechanism Committee for consideration and report back to the House. Thank you so much, honorable members. We shall move directly to item 7, orders of the day. In terms of orders of the day, 7.1, consideration and adoption of the following reports and the Standing Committee of Quality of Life, status of women, youth, and people with disability Committee Chair, Bo Honorable, Bo Me Caroline Mantata Mahasela.
Hasta la vista. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Grace Makrupeji. Let me first greet our Honorable Premier, Popi Ramatuba, Dr. Popi Ramatuba, and also greet the Deputy Speaker, the Chair of Chairs, Chief Whip, and the Deputy Chief Whip, MECs, honorable members in the House. I, Matlodi Caroline Mantata Mahasela, hereby present in this August House 2024-25 first quarter of Standing Committee on Quality of Life, Status of Women, Youth, and People with Disability for consideration and adoption. So I move.
Honorable members, any seconder? Honorable Machomani Daly.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Speaker Makurupech. I hereby second the report presented by the chair of the committee. Thank you very much.
Yatokoza, over to you, Chair.
I hereby present in this August House 2024-2025 second quarter performance report on special program for consideration and adoption. I so move.
Thank you so much. Any seconder, Dr. Cheslani?
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Speaker. Ke mo o supporta me Honorable Caroline Mantata Mahasela ka ga a move. Ke a leboga.
Thank you so much. Over to you, Chair.
I hereby present in this August House 2024-2025 third quarter performance report on special program for consideration and adoption. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Cooper.
Thank you very much, Dr. Makulpeche, our speaker. I hear by supporting what the chairperson has just alluded to the August Assent. Thank you.
Over to you, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The last one, I, Caroline Mantata Mahasela, hereby present in this August House 2024-2025 fourth quarter performance report on special program for consideration and adoption. I so move.
Seconder, Honorable Nkonyan.
Yabonga somlomo ohloniphekile. Gama lami ubongani wakaNkonyane. Uthumbo wambhudi Nkonyane ongasekho. Ngisukumela ukusekela isiphakamiso samhlonishwa uMahasela ngiyabonga.
Sizwile mhlonishwa. Honorable Mahasela, don't leave. Still sit there. We're now moving to item 7.2, consideration and adoption of the following report of the Standing Committee of Quality of Life, Status of Women, Youth, and People with Disability Committee Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Dr. Grace, I think I've done all the reports. That is why I said this is my last request. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think I've done all of them.
You have 7.1 and 7.2, 7.2.1, 7.2.2. No, you have done up to the fourth quarter report. Yeah, you must proceed to 7.2.
Or second page. Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I, Caroline Mantata Mahasela, hereby present in this August House report on the 2025 Provincial Youth Parliament, 27th June 2025 for consideration and adoption. I so move.
Thank you so much. Is there any seconder? Honorable Mukaba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I, Honorable Mukaba, rise to support the report of quality of life, status of women and people living with disability that is just presented by Honorable Mahasela. Thank you.
Honorable Chair Mantata Mahasela, you are now released to sit down. Thank you so much. We shall now refer to the speakers list. In terms of the speakers list, the person who's opening the debate, it's Honorable Shaim Posanboy.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, the Honorable Premier Dr. Provincial Matuba, the Chief Whip and the Deputy Chief Whip, not forgetting the members of the Whipari, the Chair of Chairs and the Deputy Chair of Chairs, the Chairperson of the Standing Committee, Honorable Mantata Mahasela, Honorable colleagues, Kiatamish. Honorable Speaker, as we continue to celebrate our women and their achievements over the years, let us accelerate the role of women in the economy of our province and empower them. Let us also commit to tackle the barriers faced by them, such as poverty, inequality, and unemployment that hinder their development. Over the years, Honorable Speaker, the ANC-led government has accelerated women's access to basic services, including social welfare provisions and economic opportunities, lifting millions out of absolute poverty. We, however, acknowledge that more still has to be done. Honorable Speaker and Honorable Premier, the first and second quarter reports of the 2024-2025 painted a picture of improvement with regard to representation of women in SMS level and persons with disabilities, as opposed to 2023-2024 financial year. The provincial departments continue to do their utmost best in meeting the targets of 50% for women at SMS level and 2% for people with disabilities. We want to applaud the departments that are complying by overachieving and urge those that are still behind to meet the targets as a matter of extreme urgency. Our provincial procurement, Honorable Speaker, on provincial procurement, Honorable Speaker, the Standing Committee is pleased with the progress that is recorded by departments that are achieved that have achieved and some that are overachieved. In the same breath, we are deeply worried about the departments that are not meeting the targets and call upon the Office of the Premier to convene such departments to develop extra measures of implementation. We dare not fail our designated groups at this day and age of our democracy, Honorable Premier. We are further pleased as a standing committee with the progress recorded in the program concerned with children on their birth registration, where the Department of Home Affairs is doing sterling work besides the minor challenges. And early childhood development program support, where the department concerned achieve 100% of the set target of ECD centers to be registered and supported. We are further pleased with the achievements on the sanitary dignity, towels distribution, and child support activities, despite the minor challenge that the department is faced with regard to the service provider. We want to thank the department for rapidly responding to the challenge and made sure that our learners are not disadvantaged. Honorable Speaker and Honorable Premier, it was evident during the debates by different youth formations of the 2025 Youth Parliament here in the Legislative Chamber that indeed the youth of Limpopo are living to the vision of our government to say, together we can do more. The robustness and determination with which the deliberations were carried out clearly shows that, indeed, the future of our economy will be in safe hands if we nurture and empower them in all facets of life. We welcome the efforts by the Office of the Premier and the Provincial Government in implementing the resolutions of the previous Youth Parliament. Hence, we are encouraged to continue together and make more inputs to better the lives of young people. Honorable Speaker, it became evident during the debates that education and skill development will go a long way in circumventing the challenges our country and the youth is facing in building future leaders. It is high time that as a country we should develop a framework to align our higher learning curriculum and the workplace. Our universities and TVET colleges should play a meaningful role in preparing our youth for the job market. Honorable Premier, our province is favored with minerals and citrus which we should exploit to grow the economy of our province by skilling our youth through beneficiation. The province must consider establishing special mining schools in both Kukune and Waterberg districts, as the two have mineral deposits in abundance. Our youth should be skilled and educated in mining and mining exploration to further explore more mining opportunities, except for chrome and platinum. Once the skills gap is bridged, our province will be competitive and productivity will be maintained in all sectors of our economy, and youth being at the center of that development. The Limpopo Department of Economic Development, Environment and Tourism should continue efforts to encourage public-private partnership and identify experiential learning opportunities for our youth. The Limpopo Economic Development Agency must take a meaningful lead in ensuring that our province is marketed to enhance our chances of attracting more investors. The agency must initiate deliberate youth economic development strategies to mitigate the aging economic activities of our province. The tourism industry in our province has massive potential to ease the burden of unemployment amongst the youth if we are well marketed and managed. The province has many tourism destinations compared to our sister provinces. We are therefore calling upon the department through the Limpopo Tourism Agency to expand its marketing network and recruit more tourism investors. In the same breath, the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development should take advantage of the many commercial farms we have in the province and partner with farmers to provide training to our youth in farming. More farming entrepreneurs will be developed and assist in employing our youth, which will further enable skills transfer. Manufacturing and processing are an activity we are not exploiting as the province, with many citrus farms around us to their maximum potential. We are impressing upon the departments to ensure and also establish many manufacturing and agro-processing hubs and train the youth in the sector. Honorable Premier, the youth living with disabilities and women in particular should also be prioritized in all the training, with all the training needs. The sector has experienced marginalization in the past and deliberate attempts must be made to empower them, so that we should comply with our equity legislations. We continue to make a plea to all the departments, state-owned enterprises and private companies to consider and prioritize this vulnerable sector of our society. Honorable Speaker, the Standing Committee is pleased with the progress made on the Youth Development Fund, which has since been established. We are calling upon the administrators of the fund to reach out to more youth entrepreneurs in all four corners of our province and assist them. We are also pleased with the implementation of programs geared towards capacitating youth development machinery and call to broader collaboration with the sector, working around the youth development through skills development and placement into job markets. Honorable Speaker, the creation of the 2 special economic zones in our province is a step in the right direction because they will create a sustainable investment and economic development value chain. Opportunities should be created for our young people to benefit when a consideration is made on small and medium enterprises that apply for space in the 2 zones. Young people must be considered by companies when proposing partnership for the empowerment and employment opportunities. Honorable Premier, the provincial government must consider the insourcing of basic job opportunities that are sourced from private service providers in the public sector like security, cleaning services, plumbing, and electricians, as the tendering and procuring system does not favor young people. The above scenario, Madam Premier, will motivate our young people to consider enrollment at TVET colleges, knowing that opportunities are galore for them after completion. As the provincial government considers insourcing over outsourcing, we are encouraging the public and private sector companies to provide procurement opportunities for the unemployed youth to venture into their business space. Business and on-the-job mentorship programs must strengthen the above available opportunities, which will create direct employment and start up youth businesses that are adopted into their supply value chain system. The above, Madam Premier, are contained in our policy documents such as the broad-based Black economic empowerment, which we must continue to advocate on behalf of our young people. All the above, Honorable Speaker and Premier, must be implemented by the end of the 2025-2026 financial year, as requested by the participants of the Youth Parliament. Honorable Speaker, I move that the reports be adopted as the report of this August House. I so move, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Shai, for giving us 1 minute, 30 seconds. We'll now proceed to Honorable Elmarie. Honorable Shai had 14 minutes. So you now have 9 minutes. Yeah, over to you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, our Premier, members of the Executive, the Whippery, all our members in the House, also our guests. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Speaker, as this is Women's Month, I will focus on women in Limpopo. We can talk forever on the empowerment of women. Unless we create an enabling environment for women to empower themselves, very little will change. We can set employment targets and quotas. We can give preferential treatment to women and force departments to employ a certain percentage of women and to give contracts to women. And it will make a difference. But the big question remains, is that sustainable? And will it really give most women in Limpopo the opportunities that they need? Or are we only empower again a small elite? The truth is, we create dependency, not self-sustaining women. True empowerment relies on an enabling environment. It starts at the beginning, good quality education. If we are happy that young women can pass on a 30% pass rate, then I wonder if young women learn the correct values to make them succeed in life. I'm not talking about the lucky 5 to 10% that will succeed in government contracts and government preferential treatment. I'm talking about the ordinary young women who can't find jobs, who are unemployable because they have challenges to read for meaning and other basic competencies. We need many more competent math, bookkeeping, and computer educators who can foster learners with the competencies to enable them to thrive as entrepreneurs. We need to teach young women to respect money, to plan, to budget properly, to have pride in sustaining themselves. Reducing teenage pregnancies is one of the best ways to enable women to maximize their potential. It's very important that young women must be old enough to can decide for themselves, and we have to reduce teenage pregnancies. We must create an environment that gives young women a bright future. True empowerment relies on jobs and opportunities. Jobs for every woman, not only a few. But jobs do not fall out of thin air. And we know that. We know how difficult it is to create jobs. For the creation of jobs, we need an enabling environment. And it starts at the basis. We need an effective road system. We need our young women to move around, to go from village to at least go and buy products so that they can resell them. We need good roads, not just a road that looks like ground and there's nothing on it. We need access to water at homes so that young women can utilize their time to create a future, not use their time to queue at a pit in the ground where they compete with animals for water. We need incentives to establish, support, and grow small businesses for everyone. And this is the interesting thing. We all know that one small business often creates the environment for another, and then another, and so on. We need quality skills training. One hairdresser in a village creates opportunities for small business to stock, for example, hair extensions. And in turn, that supports that small business. We know what doesn't work. We have 30 years of failed projects and disempowerment in each village in Limpopo. We just have to drive through any village in Limpopo and look at the millions of rands wasted on projects of all sorts. All that is left is rusty infrastructure, half-built buildings, overgrown project sites. We have to start to stop this waste. If we accept that each and every department has a role to play to create an enabling environment, then the question remains, Honourable Chairperson of our committee, what must and can we do as committee? And I have 3 proposals. Number 1, we need to follow up on each teenage pregnancy, and if the female child is underage, we need to open cases of rape. I think our Premier has set the example, against the males who are responsible, and we need to follow up until that male person is in jail. One woman cannot impregnate another woman. It is males that do that. It's true. Honourable MEC, there's no way that I can impregnate another woman. 2, No, it's not possible, I can assure you. We need to participate and support the Portfolio Committee on Transport and Community Safety and strengthen the Court Watch program. We as a committee must make sure that each and every case is followed up, and we need to extend the Court Watch program to more magistrate courts. We need to follow up on those women who are empowered, either through getting a job or a contract, and make sure they empower other women. We are all in this. And the question is, are we empowering other women? Speaker, we need strong, independent women, and we have good examples. To grow our province and our country, we don't need women dependent on government. Finally, whether we like to admit it or not, government is complicit in the systemic failure of safeguarding women and the lack of opportunities women receive. Let this 7th administration be the change that we are looking for. I thank you.
Thank you so much. You have saved us some minutes there, Honorable Member. 3 minutes, 17 seconds. It's really very good. From the EFF, it was supposed to be Honorable Dwaba. I don't know who's standing. Honorable Wogo will be presenting on behalf of the EFF. Over to you, Honorable.
Thanks, Honorable Dr. Speaker. On behalf of the July 26 movement, re thoma ka go dumedisha bomme ka moka bao e beng di victims tša GBV. Re eme mo re gopola bo veteran mama Mokaba Priscilla, ke batho ba ba re inspirang, bo Koko Sara Malema, bo mama Matlhodi Malema, Kudu le mme Zulani Modau, who encountered medical negligence ko Chelezeni Hospital after the botched operation. Honorable Speaker, the support of designated groups such as youth, women, children and people living with disability by the government is very scanty. Public institutions have not yet developed cogent structures and programs of addressing challenges faced by designated groups like youth, women, people living with disabilities, children, and in particular military veterans. There are no clear norms and standards by this government, Honorable Premier, in terms of addressing challenges faced by designated groups in our society. The Youth Directorate, in particular in the Office of the Premier, has serious capacity problems with only 4 officials who are responsible for youth development matters. This is clear testimony that, to the fact that there is no political will and leadership in this province to address all challenges faced by young people of our province. Honorable Speaker, there is nothing worse than having a government which does not have solutions. Such a government is not fit to lead society. Can we get a report, Honorable Speaker, on the reduction of illiteracy and increase in skills investment through internships and learnerships during the period under review? The last time we checked, Honorable Speaker, such a report did not exist, meaning that there was nothing really happening in this regard. The youth living with disabilities at the supported employment enterprise, which is located in Seshego Industrial Park, must be prioritized and be supported. Even when projects are to be advertised, they must be given that priority, and we wish to see the center working fully. There are a number of divisions. I know the Honorable Premier visited the place sometimes back, but there is no serious movement. Those people are doing anything from carpentry, and they can do anything that you can think of. Those are graduates from special schools. They deserve support by this government. Honorable Speaker, the legislature does not have sign language services. We need such a service to accommodate deaf people in our province. And that service must accompany any program of the legislature so that we don't isolate part of our society. Honorable Speaker, in terms of 25% procurement in our province, which must be spent on women, the departments have dismally failed, with leaded which has declined, very disappointing, from 34.5% to 10.70% during the period under review. That should be a sign of a concern to all communities. In terms of procurement spent on youth, no department, no single department reached the target of 25%. Yet young people are blamed to be drunkards and everything that is not necessary in society. Yet government is failing to empower them. Again, this is a clear indication of lack of political will and leadership to address challenges facing young people in the province of Limpopo. Can we get progress report, Honorable Speaker, on the 3% procurement budget in terms of projects awarded to military veterans? This report must equally include if Office of the Premier met the targets in terms of the same indicator. Honorable Speaker, how many designated groups, especially people living with disabilities, have been recruited and empowered through the employment equity policies, especially at SMS level? Dr. Speaker, the budget of 10 million as reported for the Limpopo Youth Fund is a drop in the ocean given many challenges faced by young people. Our youth, as we are standing here, requires direct intervention and injection of funds into their businesses because the mainstream financial sector is rejecting them through unbearable conditions. Therefore, this government must make sure that it gives young people money, those who want to be in business, and make sure that they give them necessary support to grow. That is one route to reduce unemployment and all the social ills we are facing. So 10 million indeed is nothing compared to what we are facing. We need a fund that can inject money, Honorable Speaker. We're emphasizing that. Honorable Speaker, most FET colleges are offering training in less obsolete skills such as administration courses and so forth. However, our province to change requires more skills which are related to industrialization, like engineering, artisan skills, boiler making, construction and maintenance and so forth. That will change our economy and the provincial outlook. Honorable Speaker, standing here, we are disappointed to report that, which was never reported, that offices of the NYDA in this province have been closed for almost a year. They just reopened recently, mid-July, Honorable Premier, because they could not afford rent. They were locked and they are changing offices like Batobajile and Tawana Yahaka. Never leko Skuman, Rania Lobatsamaile, Babikat, Ninning, Baka, Tabombeki. So it's a mess, which then have negative impact on youth development. Kindly zoom into that situation of people who change offices and who can't afford mere telephone services. Young people don't know where to get youth development services in our province. The chapter of youth development in Limpopo is in jeopardy because of NYDA offices not being visible and not being accessible. Honorable Speaker, it is always reported that Office of the Premier has given directives to various departments to do this and that. However, we are unable to detect the monitoring mechanisms to make sure that there is mandatory implementation and departments meet the required targets. So we are calling upon the Honorable Premier to make sure that she puts more pressure and focus on issues of youth development and deliverables across all departments and entities. The lack of capacity, Honorable Speaker, by departments to attract people from designated groups is worrying, and it warrants that something very urgent must be done by this House. For all this to happen, Honorable Premier, all we need and all we are asking for is for your visionary and activism and as a leader to make sure that everything is implemented, not only it remains on paper. For the people of Limpopo, especially women, children, people living with disabilities are highly disadvantaged. Young people are loitering in the streets because there is no one to take care of. And as the EFF, we call upon your offices to make sure that we respect young people and we service them. I thank you.
Thank you so much. He still as well gave us another 3 minutes, 18 seconds, which is very encouraging. The chair of the committee, Honorable Caroline Mantata Mahasela, to come and close the debate.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Speaker. Let me first greet our Honorable Premier, who is here with us, Dr. Popira Matuba, Popi Muchena, And let me also greet our Chief Whip, Asop Mokhanyani, and the Deputy Chief Whip, Rogers Munama, Honorable Rogers Munama. Let me also greet our Honorable Deputy Speaker, Grace Tewomamrovela, also MECs, and all the honorable members who are in this august house, and our honorable chair of chairs and the deputy chair of chairs. I greet you. Honorable Speaker, let me firstly appreciate the event that the speakership organized last Friday at Mirupa Casino and Entertainment World to honor women leadership and their achievements. It really was a thought-provoking adventure for our women, and keep up the good work. This coming Thursday, it's going to be on the 28th of August 2025, the legislature will be hosting a women's parliament to allow our women to converse among themselves on issues of common interest, empowerment, and challenges they are facing daily. Honorable Speaker, as we appreciated the work of OTP, which means Office of the Premier, in the first and second quarters, around the establishment of the Limpopo Youth Development Fund, the Standing Committee is concerned with the slow pace of delivering on the mandate of the fund. The lack of coordination with stakeholders must be resolved as a matter of urgency so that our young people will benefit from the funds. We call upon the role players to quickly conclude the assessment of applicants and beneficiaries. We urge the steering committee to ensure that in the first quarter of 2025-2026 funds are distributed to the intended beneficiaries. Honorable Speaker, the Standing Committee further consents that the objectives set out in the youth development programs could not be achieved because of the lack of appropriate capacity within the youth sector to develop skills audit. These programs, Madam Premier or Honorable Premier, are critical to our effort as both public and private sectors to reduce youth unemployment and economic exclusion. The program that relates to the provision of business capacity for designated groups leaves much to be desired. The target of 60,000 capacity building initiative and 3,750 of opportunities could not be met. Only the 1,946 was achieved, a far cry from the target. The Standing Committee, however, appreciates and welcomes the overachievement in the creation of internship and learnership program, and urge the Office of the Premier to work towards the review of the target to absorb more youth. Honorable Speaker, although some progress was recorded by some departments in the first and second quarters around the employment equity for designated groups, it is regrettable that there is regression in meeting the quotas of 50% on women representation at senior management services, which is SMS level, and 2% on the people with disability, respectively. Only 2 departments, Honorable Speaker, were able to meet the targets out of 11. The Standing Committee is making passionate plea to the Honorable Premier to direct departments through the Director General's office to develop tangible strategies to address the matter. Honorable Speaker, the Standing Committee applauds the departments that continue to do better in achieving targets with regard to procurement for designated groups. It is regrettable again, Honorable Speaker, that in terms of procurement spent on youth, no department was able to meet the target. The Standing Committee, however, notes and welcomes some improvements, Honorable Premier, recorded by about 8 departments. We urge departments to create the necessary capacity to attract relevant candidates from the designated groups. Honorable Speaker, the Standing Committee calls on the Office of the Premier to enhance programs to increase the number of entrepreneurs with disabilities bidding through the Limpopo Economic Development, Environment and Tourism Enterprise Development Programs. Honorable Premier, we are pleased that the highest office in the province acknowledges the role played by our military veterans and seek to consider them in the program, which is procurement for designated groups. The Standing Committee urges all the provincial departments to increase efforts in empowering our military veterans. Honorable Speaker and Honorable Premier, the Standing Committee is elated that the program on the registration of early childhood development centers continue to record overachievement. And it is a positive sign of the ANC-led government on early childhood development for a better future. Madam Speaker and Honorable Premier, it is an undisputable fact that youth are the future of our country and therefore carry the hopes of changing our province, country, and the world for the better. The journey starts here in Limpopo, Honorable Premier. Economic development and empowerment are a key driver in ensuring that our youth are participating fully in the creation of a better life for all. Any country that doesn't take care of its youth is not serious about its future. Statistics show that our country is becoming youthful rapidly. This year, Youth Parliament has again demonstrated a need to spare no effort in creating favorable conditions and opportunities for our young people. On enterprise development, Honorable Premier, enterprise development is cornerstone of any developing country for economic participation by all its citizens. As a province, Honorable Premier, development of enterprises will serve as a catalyst for economic participation of our youth, particularly the previously disadvantaged groups. With our country facing a serious challenge of unemployment among the youth, it is important, Honorable Premier, that we prioritize enterprise development to strategically promote economic participation, self-employment, and innovation among youth people. Madam Speaker and our Honorable Premier, interventions are needed to turn around the structural challenges to employment and entrepreneurship for young people. We must unlock the potential for access financial institutions by inspiring youth entrepreneurs and enhance entrepreneurial education among young people. To sustain the momentum of job creation and sustainable livelihoods, enterprise development is the vehicle for entertaining unemployment challenges facing by the youth or faced by the youth. Enterprise development will further encourage self-reliance by our youth and a better way of surviving in the international world. Young people, Honorable Premier, are determined to actively participate in the economy and create the much-needed jobs in our province, and ours is to put mechanism in place to increase their knowledge and resource accordingly. For young people to realize their potential to the fullest, government and the private sector must invest in them by providing relevant training and funding. Both government and the private sector must prioritize equipping our youth people with information that will enhance their knowledge and skills. When it comes to social ills and health issues, Honorable Speaker, our Honorable Premier, tackling societal challenges that manifest through social ills and health issues is key to building a healthy and positive future generations. A healthy environment will translate into a healthy nation, and there will be a certainty in the future of our province and country, which is our youth. All the departments, and particularly the social cluster, and must play a central role in addressing these social challenges with the private sector involved. The Department of Social Development, Department of Education, Justice, Sports, Arts and Culture, Health and South African Police Service must develop joint outreach programs to address the issues. The approach, Honorable Premier, will empower our young people with knowledge on physical, mental, and emotional health matters. Coordinated by social cluster departments, we must establish committees in rural villages and townships to encourage young people to participate in health education programs and create access to psychosocial support and safe environment for engagement and empowerment. Social ill are the highest contributing factor to the desperate situations that our youth are faced with. Honorable Premier, lack of opportunities of our young people contributes to crime and drug abuse in communities, which is a threat to future of our province. Honorable Premier, as I conclude, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Premier, let me say that as the committee, we are very much impressed by your immediate response, Honorable Premier, to issues that you find that our youth are in need, and they need to be, those issues, they need to be addressed, and you do that as soon as possible. As I conclude again, Honorable Speaker, let me borrow from the analogy of our first democratically elected President Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela Madiba, when he said, after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. We have made strides in trying to better the lives of our future leaders, albeit not enough. We must hand in glove with our young people to do more to better their living conditions. It is still a long way to go, Honorable Speaker and our Honorable Premier, but victory is certain. And Honorable Speaker, I move that the report be adopted as the report of this August House. I so move. Thank you.
The chair, Honorable Mantata Maasela, took her 14 minutes to the dot. I think we appreciate the hands that you are giving her. 14 minutes to the dot. Thank you so much, Chair, and the whole committee for the debate. We shall now call upon the Honorable the Premier of the province of Limpopo, to respond to the debate. Honorable Dr. Popira Matuba, you have, Honorable Premier, because the debate was long, you have 5 minutes, not 3 minutes. We have added 2 minutes to your time. Over to you, Honorable Premier.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Chief Whip, Deputy Chief Whip, Honorable Chair of Chairs, the Deputy Chair of Chairs, and the entire whippery, the Chair of the Portfolio Committee, wo Caroline Mahasela, and all other chairperson of different portfolio committees, members of the Executive Council, members of the opposition party and their leader, honorable members of this august house, the representative of HODs and director generals, members of public who are within the public gallery, receive warm greetings from the 7th administration. Honorable members, let me welcome the debates that are very closer to honorable members' hearts. Listening to each and every honorable member on the platform, it is very clear that we know that without focusing on women, without focusing on young people, without dealing with challenges facing people with disability, we won't go anywhere as the province. Therefore, we welcome all your inputs that you have indicated. However, I need to emphasize or some of the issues make a comment. For instance, when we talk about empowerment of women, yes, as the president during his address on the Women's Day celebration in Nkoankwa Stadium, when he said, when we empower the women, we empower the nation. We need to indicate that as a province, we are doing our level best. If you remember, we had a challenge in terms of that office not having a directorate. Currently, we do have a director in that office who is part of this august house, who understand even better the task ahead. It was not a mistake that you saw the Women's Day celebration this year being held, hosted in our province, and the president in his own words said, this is the best ever Women's Day celebration he has ever attended. We want to thank that directorate because they understand how to work with honorable members and how to work with the public. We will move on to make sure that we also fill in the post of the director, a youth directorate. We believe that the process of recruitment is at advanced level. They will be finalizing, and by doing that, we'll be able to coordinate the work that is being done, because it's not only the 10 million, Honorable Leboho, that is a fund which is earmarked towards supporting young entrepreneurs. If you look at SEDFA on its own, it's got its own allocation focusing on young people. Even this past week and this coming week, we have got around 10 entrepreneurs from our province who are young. I've left them in Namibia. We are creating markets for them. They are funded by SEDFA. They are also funded by our leader. So you would see that they've been able to have even access to Her Excellency the President. It's our young people who have a manufacture or a chocolate bar out of Masonja. I'm told we must never agree to call them Mupani worms. We rather call them Mupani shrimps, because you eat prawns, you don't call them worms. So no one must ever call our delicious high protein meal worms. Asidiboku ke dijo tša ho phepa le mmele wa rena. We also have got the National Empowerment Fund that is also funding our young people. Of course, we have the NYDA with its own challenges. I will be meeting with the newly elected board very soon so that we address all those issues, because we've met with the locals. They've been complaining about the issues of that you are raising of stability due to the lack of offices. So we are working with the NYDA. We congratulated the new board. They've already came to the province. We will be giving this August House the feedback on this matter. Our leader, which is currently being also as part of a renewing leader, they are working very hard to support young people through those earmarked funds. We also now have a transformation fund on tourism, where we are calling upon young people to say, have interest in tourism. As a province, we're equally reviewing the structure to accommodate this issue of capacity. But just to mention a few, in terms of skills development and training, we had 2 phases. In phase 1, we managed to train 500 apprenticeship on trades that were focusing on motor mechanics, on diesel mechanics, mechanical fitting, welding, and also electrical work. We equally, during the phase 2, have trained 70 youth on artisanship, but the most focus on the phase 2 one was this new venture creation, the NQF level 2, where 250 participants were trained on entrepreneurship, because we have seen that even if we give them skills, but without entrepreneurship skills, they are unable to create more jobs. The 10 young SMEs led are currently being supported. The latest, it's 130 solar installation skills which have been trained on the 130 young people. So, honorable members, you would see that there is a lot of work that is being done. Unfortunately, because we have not strengthened the office of the Youth Directorate, there is no collaboration and coordination. Every department is doing things in their own corner. But once we capacitate fully that office, we'll be able to give you the full updated and picture in terms of the work that we're doing to empower young people, people with disability, and also women. Lastly, we do here welcome your inputs, Honorable Marie, in terms of the teenage pregnancy, in terms of how do we support teenagers. We want to welcome the recent arrest, I think it happened 2 days ago, where a mother has now been arrested because it's a mother of a 9-year-old. The 9-year-old has been raped by the 18-year-old brother. And the mother decided to tell the young girl not to talk. She must keep quiet because she wanted to protect her son. The community took it upon themselves after the 9-year-old told them, and take both the mother and the son to the police, and thank South African Police Service for arresting both the mother and the son. The mother must go to jail. If the mother goes to jail for protecting a rapist in the name of being her son, then many mothers out there who protect statutory rapists who are impregnating 15-year-old, 12-year-old, 10-year-old, we will be able to win in this battle. So we want to appreciate those inputs, and we say, honorable members, issues of gender-based violence are our issues, all of us. Let's join hands in support the work that is being done by our Department of Social Development, equally the Department of Community Safety and Transport and Community Safety. So I want to thank all of you, especially the chairperson of committee, my honorable committee members, Honorable Shai, and all the honorable members who continuously guide this particular committee so that we can go and deliver much more. The others who have noted the sign language, we will look into that, and starting with the legislature, they must walk the talk and show us how things are done. The legislature must be accessible to be everybody. It can't only be the Premier's office that has interpreters. Legislature must do like wise and teachers. Thank you, Honorable Member.
Premier, we do have interpreters. You will see them on Thursday. Yeah, on Thursday you will see them. Thank you so much. We just use them. It's like interpretation and other. We just use them because Akirarna Chelet, Honorable Mawai doesn't have money to give us all the money, but we do have them. And on the big occasions, we all utilize them. On Thursday, they will be here. You will see the interpreters when they will be here. Thank you so much. We deliberately gave the Honorable, the Premier, more time because the debate was long. And so that she can clarify all the issues, and we appreciate that she was able to clarify. We shall now proceed, honorable members. I will request my presiding officers who's doing the announcements to come to the fore. Honorable Ngoveni.
Thank you very much. Koromeroko wa announce aloji serious. Honorable Speaker, the Deputy Speaker of the Limpopo Provincial Legislature, the Chief Whip, the Deputy Chief Whip, members of the Whipari, Honorable Premier of our province, Singo, and esteemed members of the Executive Council, honorable members and guests in the gallery. I rise to make the following announcements. The first one, the MEC for Sports, Arts and Culture invites female members of the legislature to the Grannies Football Tournament tomorrow, the 27th of August, 2025. The event will be at Villa Villa High School Stadium. 2, that the 2025 Provincial Women's Parliament will be held here at Limpopo Legislative Chamber, Limpopo Provincial Legislative Chamber, on Thursday, the 28th of August, 2025, at 10 o'clock. 3, that the Limpopo Provincial Legislature will be taking the legislature to the people from the 8th to the 12th of September 2025 at Makulutamaga Local Municipality in Sekhukhune District Municipality. The details relating to the logistics, the venue, will be communicated in due course. 4, that the sitting of the legislature is scheduled to take place on Thursday, the 21st of October, 2025, here at Lewagomo Legislative Chamber. And then 5thly, lunch is served at committee boardroom. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, honorable members. It is correct that, let me read the whole announcement just because he summarized, and in future I will request him to read the whole announcement because there is a reason why we give the explanation. When the House adjourns today, it shall again sit on the Tuesday, 21st October, in the Lewagomo Legislative Chamber. This is an effort to afford the committees of this House sufficient time in the process of 2025-2026 first quarter reports and annual 2024-2025 reports refer to them. Remember, the number of committees reports refer to committees. We're allowing the committees to sit and do the work because we sit when your reports are ready. So the legislature sit on the basis of the readiness of the reports to be processed by the legislature. So now we must allow the committees to go and do the work, When the work is done, we'll come back to consider the reports from those committees. I think I felt I needed to give that explanation. So on that note, we're not on recess. On that note, honorable members, let me take this opportunity to thank honorable members for a progressive very sitting that we held today. And as we will come back on Thursday, beautiful as we will be as women, led by the leadership here of female and everybody, even men are invited to the sitting on Thursday. So on that note, the sitting stands adjourned until 21st October.